Hello friends, welcome to my channel VPMP. So today we are going to discuss an important topic of how to answer the question in your PMP exam. So first friends, the important point that I would like to share is don't miss out reading the entire question once. And once we read the question, my first technique is marking the keywords. So there are many portion in the question that you need to mark, and then we have to derive on a particular answer. So in the keywords, one of them is a project stage. So we need to identify which of or what current project stage is of the question that is being put to us. Then we need to find some of the tricky English words like not, do not, what should we do, or what is the proper sequence, which sequence is not correct. So these are some of the tricky words. Then we need to identify if a stakeholder is presented in the question, whether the stakeholder is of what kind of importance he has. Is he high on power and interest grid, or he is low on one of them? Depending on that, our answer may change. Then what kind of situation the project is in. Currently the project is in a very bad situation or is in good situation. It is during end of the phase and you are asked to close the project. So depending on the situation, our answer may vary. Then coming to answer, after reading the question, it is very important to have a technique to answer the question. So one of the technique or one of the powerful technique I can say is elimination technique, wherein we eliminate our choices one at a time or one by one. So while answering the question, if all of the options that are given or all of the answers that are given are common or they tend to be similar, then we need to find which one occurs first or comes first. Then we should be avoiding some harsh words. We should be finding some of the harsh word in the answers like close, finish, do nothing, or complaining or escalating. So these kind of harsh answers are wrong. Then check for non-PMI terms. There will be many terms in our exam that we may get are frame terms. We need to identify them and eliminate them. Then there will be question which will test on our ethics, like giving bribe, favoring somebody, favoring your relative, favoring your friend. So those answers are wrong. Then PIMBOK defined terms. We should go with some of the PIMBOK defined terms even if we read from the net or some of the other social media which defines the same term differently, but we need to answer in a PIMBOK term. So guys, I have already shared 2 videos in my YouTube channel which says why do people fail and how do we pass the exam, and also one more video I have uploaded which says tips and tricks for the exam. So you can go ahead and watch them. Now we are going to discuss 5 of the questions wherein we will be using these techniques to find out the correct answer. So let's go ahead. So the first question is, first read the question once. You are a project manager working with multiple vendors for your project. One of the vendor you are working goes bankrupt. What is course of action? So as I told, first we need to understand what are the critical or important words and mark them. So here if we see, one of the important word is you are working with multiple vendors. One of your vendors goes bankrupt. So bankrupt for me is a important word. What will be your course of action? So now let's move ahead to the answers. Meet the vendors. Are we going to meet the vendors? Yeah, maybe. So we'll park it. So update the risk register. Surely, like if your vendor is going to be bankrupt, then it is risk for your project. This is also correct. Perform qualitative risk analysis. Definitely risk will be analyzing. This is also correct, maybe. Assign another vendor to the deliverable. So this is, as I discussed, a harsher one. So the harsh terms we need to eliminate. Then out of these three, we need to make sure which will occur first. So perform qualitative risk analysis. This will be doing later. Update the risk register. Yeah, this is what we are going to do first. Then we can speak or we can meet the vendor. But first we need to update our risk register that our vendor has gone bankrupt. So the correct answer is B, update the risk register. Let's move on to the next question. So question 2, David leads a PMO that is in the process of shifting the organization from using predictive to adaptive approach to delivering project outcome. During an agile training session for the organization, a team member asked, what will be size of our project team? What should be response of David? So this is an agile question and it is one of the difficult question that I have faced. So if you see, like he is asking, David is asking what will be size of our team. So all these answers can be correct. So all of these answers can be correct. Now let's find the important word. Important word is they are moving from predictive to adaptive approach. So it is a agile approach. So in agile we can have all kind of teams. So if you go on net and search, you will find all kind of teams we need to we can have. But as per PMBOK, it says that our agile team should be of 3 to 9 members. So B is the correct answer. So that is why I am saying we should use the PMBOK terms. Now let's move on to next question. Next question is, you are working in a matrix environment and your project team has recently been reduced by 3 team members. As a result, you need more time from a team member who only spends 50% of the time on your project. Which of the following is the most significant impact on your ability to acquire more of the employee's time? So friends, here the important words are, there is a team member there is a team member. I'm sorry. So we are having a team member who spends 50% of the time, only 50% on the project, and rest he will be enjoying his time. So he is demotivated. And next the question asks, what is your ability, like what ability you are using to make sure that the person delivers 100%. This is what the question says. So if we see decision making, the decision is already there, so it's not a decision making. Issue log, it's not a ability. Training, we can provide the training, but here the question says he spends 50% of his time. Okay, so it's not about he doesn't possess a particular knowledge, it's more about his his intention. So the best answer is influencing. The project manager has to influence that person to make sure that he delivers 100%. Now next, let's move on to our next question. So our next question says, while performing monitoring and control activity, so we are in monitoring and control phase, the project manager discovers inconsistency between the project management plan and the project's actual performance. She now needs to determine corrective action to minimize the impact of inconsistency in the project. In what project document would she have documented the inconsistency, okay, and would look at them to review? So the question says, where now let's go to the question and mark the important words. Yeah, so we will be marking the important word. The project is in monitoring and controlling activity. So we are in monitoring and controlling phase. The project manager discovers inconsistency. So there is inconsistency between the project management plan and the actual performance. So inconsistency is the term. So where should we go and look to review them? So are we going to go for a risk register? No, we are not going to go for a risk register because the event has already occurred. It is not a risk and it's an issue. So issue is correct. Assumption log, we see if particular thing is we have assumed and it is not present. This is wrong answer. And change log is also wrong, because when do we check the change log? Change log we check after a particular change has been completed. So let's move on to the next question. So here the correct answer is issue log. So the last question is, a new project manager takes over a program and wants to review the original start date as well as anticipated end dates for all of the projects in the program. What document should the project manager request for each project? Okay, now here let's mark the critical words. So there is a new program manager and he is reviewing the original start date, and where he is going to find that original start date. So let's see the answer now. Project scope statement. So what does the scope statement says? It defines the scope, not about dates. So we'll remove that. Activity attributes. It says more about the work that we are doing and not the dates. Schedule management plan. Schedule management plan, friends, is only a plan. It doesn't say about dates. Project charter, yes, because project charter has initial start date as well as anticipated or projected end date, not the actual end date, since it has started, it is formed during the initiation. So project charter is the correct answer. So friends, today we saw how during the exam, even if a question is given, we can go ahead and use elimination technique to arrive to a conclusive or a correct answer. So I hope you like this video. If you like this video, I will request you to please subscribe to my channel to get latest update, and also share this link to your friends who are going to attempt the exam in recent. Thank you for attending this.